All right, guys, Hort here with you one more time. In this last part of the Blackboard Gradebook setup series, we're going to take a look at how to create quarterly averages based on weighted categories. Okay, so in the previous video, we took a look at how to set up the gradebook if you are a total points person. For this video, we're going to take a look at the weighted categories. All right, so without further ado, let's go over to Blackboard, and we're going to go down to the Grade Center, Full Grade Center. All right, so if you did watch the total points portion of this, you'll know that to set up a total point system, we need two columns. Okay, we need an actual total points calculation column, and then an average based on that total points calculation. The weighted average column is actually only a single column. All right, Blackboard can do the math for us. All right, there's a couple little tricks, but it can do all the math for us. All right, so what we're going to do here is we are going to go to our create a calculated column section, and what we are going to do is we are going to create a weighted column. So click on that. Okay, the column name, right, should be your first quarter grade. All right, so first quarter percentage, or whatever you want to call your, first quarter grade, first quarter grade. I'm going to call it grade percentage. All right, you do not need a description. The primary display is a percentage, right? That's what we want the kids to see. What's their score out of 100? All right, and ultimately that's the column that we're going to push over to PowerSchool. All right, the grading period is going to be the first quarter. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we are going to select the categories that we want to use in our grade calculation. All right, so as an example, let's say that my class has 3 categories. All right, tests are going to be worth 50% of the grade. Okay, assignments, homework, that sort of thing, is going to be worth 40% of the grade. And let's say that class participation is going to be worth the remaining 10%. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to select those 3 categories. All right, so this is assuming that I am not going to ever assign 4 points a survey or a discussion or a blog or a journal or anything like that. All right, so there's a couple of ways that we can bring the columns over. I can bring them over one at a time, simply select the column, the category to bring over, and then click on the little right, greater than sign. All right, or I can multiple select the categories, right? So to multiple select, if you're on a Mac, you press and hold the Command key and then select the categories that you want. All right, so again, I want assignment, test, and class participation again, right? So press and hold the Command key, all right, and then click on the categories you want. All right, we're going to move those over. We're going to hit the little right arrow, and here are my categories brought over to the right-hand side. All right, so the next thing that I need to do is I need to assign the weights for each category. All right, so we had said that tests, all right, are going to be 50%, so I'll put in a 50 there. Class participation is going to be worth 10, and assignments were going to be 40. Okay, so if I do the math, all of the grades, or the weights, I should say, should add up to 100%, right? So 50 plus 10 plus 40 equals 100. I'm pretty sure about that. All right, I'm teaching math this year, so I better be sure about that. All right, so the next thing that we want to do is for each category, we want to make a couple of adjustments. All right, so in grading period, we want the grade period to be the first quarter. Okay, and then weight columns equally or proportionally. This is very important that you click on the proportional button. Okay, so a category will have the weight percentage, the quarter that the grade is going to be assigned for, all right, and then weight columns proportionally. Okay. If you ever want to talk about what's the difference between equally and proportionally, just let me know and I'll explain it to you. All right. But trust me when you want this button to set proportionally. There are other options here, drop grades, that sort of thing, that you can use also. I haven't delved into those items, but if you ever want to play around with that stuff, let me know and I'll be happy to kind of try to walk you through some of that stuff. All right, so we're going to do this for all three of our categories. All right, so my class participation category is worth 10% in grading period first quarter, weight columns proportionally. Okay, and then again, category assignment, all right, is going to be worth 40% of the student's grade, all right, in the first quarter, and weight the column proportionally. Okay, so in terms of setting up our calculated column, that's pretty much it. We want to calculate it as a running total, yes, all right, so anytime that we make a change at the gradebook, that quarterly grade will, be impacted. It'll be a new calculation. The options include this column in the grade center calculations, yes. All right, I want to show this column to students, yes. All right, show statistics, average and or median. All right, to the students, no. All right, so I want the student to be able to see his grade and his grade only. In my mind, he doesn't need to know where he is or where the rest of the class is. Okay. Once we're done with all those settings, we're going to go ahead and click Submit. All right, and we can see here that our gradebook is set up. Last name, first name, last access, and then the first quarter grade. All right, the last bit of this, very important, is that we set this column to export to Blackboard. All right, so in other words, the whole idea of using the full grade center in Blackboard is that we're going to do all of the grade calculations for a student's grade in Blackboard and then push a single value, a single column over to PowerSchool. So in PowerSchool, the student will only see his quarterly grade, which could be up to 24 hours old, all right, because the push from Blackboard to PowerSchool happens at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning every day. Okay, and so we need to set up that column, all right, to actually export there. All right, so to do that, I'm going to click on the little down arrow next to first quarter grade, and I'm going to set as external grade. All right, so I'm going to go up to that option, set as external grade. You'll see a little green check mark next to the first quarter grade. All right, and if I mouse over it, it says external grade. So in other words, this column, all right, the numbers in this column every morning at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning will push over to PowerSchool. Okay, and that is basically it. All right, so if you sat through this entire lecture series, God bless you. Thank you very much for listening. Please go through these, review these. Obviously, when we get to the first quarter, to the end of the first quarter and the second quarter grade starts, or the second quarter starts, right, you're going to have to do basically the exact same thing to set up a second quarter grade, and then also to set up a third quarter grade and a fourth quarter grade. Okay, midterms and finals, we'll take a look at how to figure that out. We'll release information on how those grades are going to be pushed out eventually to PowerSchool. All right, but for now, we have our first quarter grade set up, and everything looks good. All right, thanks for listening. If you guys ever need any help, please come see me. All right, I am known to skulk around the IT office or room 11, and eventually, sometimes I'm even found in the faculty break room. All right, so find me. We'll talk about what your situation is, and we'll try to get you squared away. All right, guys, have a great school year, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.